How do we practice during COVID? No bands to get together with, no people to practice with. So how do we keep our chops up? Welcome back. So, we've all been in lockdown. COVID is a hard time for everybody. And I pray and I hope that everybody gets through this and we're all out in the field together again someday. But that's no excuse for us not to be able to practice. Sure, not a lot of people will have a drum. And I totally understand that. But we, as bass drummers, owe it to ourselves and to the rest of the band to continue to keep our chops up. But before I go any further, I need you to click like and subscribe right down here. Remember, when the competition comes out, it'll help you win the bass drum. Like and subscribe. And so today I'm going to kind of cover how I practice, and I can't recommend this for everybody. This is how I do it. I've been playing for best part of 25 years, and so my practice regime might be different from other people's. But it's good for us all to practice in some way, to keep our minds sharp, to keep our hands moving and arms moving the way they need to, so that when we get back together as a band, we can quickly show the rest of the group that we kept our chops up, that we kept practicing, and this is how devoted we are to our art form. So I would practice once or twice a week, and no more than 30 minutes. But I run over the basics. I grab my sticks, and I would begin by playing mummy daddies. If you're used to working with your snare drummers or tenor drummers, they have and we do too, in Scottish drumming there is rudiments in theory, the basic rudiments, the basic patterns that we can play as drummers, and one of those is mummy daddy, and it's simply right, left, right, left. Playing that over and over again, getting our hands used to moving. So I would start off with that as a warm-up. So another one I would use is paradiddle, and that's simply left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. To get my arms and hands used to moving again. Once I'm comfortable with that, I would add accents to those paradiddles. So there'd be accented paradiddles. And so on. Again, getting my hands and my arms used to moving. Getting my mind, my head right. Getting me used to playing those patterns. And this is a great warm-up for not only bass drummers, for tenor drummers, for snare drummers. It's all good practice to keep our arms, hands, and head in sync. Once I do that, 5-10 minutes, my arms and my hands are nicely warmed up, I would then go on and I would start practicing some basic tunes. Scotland the Brave, some 3/4s, Green Hills. And I would run through with a recording on YouTube. So, you'd hear in the recording more often than not, but alright, quick march. And I would play to those recordings and bands that I have played with in the past. So this is another great way for us to practice. Now, I'm lucky again, as I said, I have a bass drum I can play on. But what if you don't? Well, we can play on tabletops. and a lot of you are already used to practicing just hitting the tabletop. You've done that with your bands, and if you're a beginner bass drummer, hitting the tabletop, getting your mind used to those beatings is a great way to start. And it's a great way to continue practicing. Now, if you want to practice vertically with a bass drum, I've actually found that door frames work pretty well. They're not quite as wide as a bass drum, but a door frame will give you that right vertical practice surface. Now, I'm not suggesting you go and beat, holes in your walls or anything, but get yourself a nice soft pair of mallets and just gently practice in that door frame. Practice up against each side of the door frame. Both hands can be played. And so this will give you that feeling of playing against a bass drum. As part of my practice regime, I will then pull out recordings of competition sets that I have played in the past. And again, I will run through those. The competition set playing in my ear from my AirPods, and I will practice to those, playing those competition sets. Obviously, if you have a new competition set to practice with from your band, I highly recommend pulling that out. Get a recording from your pipe major, from your lead snare, preferably those two playing together, and practice to it. Pull out your sheet music, read the sheet music, practice reading the sheet music with your new competition set. And come the next time you are at a Highland Games, come the next time that you're in the competition circle, you know you've practiced, you know you've put in the time, and people will see that. You'll be ready for the next competition season. We're all still in lockdown. It's still 2020. Actually, it is Veterans Day today. It is November the 11th. So I'm going to take a second to remember those that have sacrificed so much for so many. Thank you to those veterans. I appreciate everything you've done for this country and the world. So how do you practice? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. What did I miss? Pull out something that beginner bass drummers and the more seasoned bass drummers should be doing while they're practicing. Obviously, if you flourish, add that in there too. Get some flourishes going. There's no excuse in lockdown that we can't practice, as long as you got some sticks. And if you don't, check out mine. I sell some. That's it for today. Thank you very much. I appreciate every single one of you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.